Video shows a Texas Jack in the Box employee shooting at a drive-through customer, reportedly during an argument over missing curly fries, according to the lawsuit filed by Houston attorney Rendell Cullinan. Anthony Ramos and his family ordered a combo meal at the restaurant near Houston's Bush Intercontinental Airport on March 2021. Ramos, a Florida resident, was in Houston for work after the February freeze. He picked up his pregnant wife and daughter, who was 6 years old at the time, from the airport and stopped at the drive-thru for food. 15 minutes later, they were speeding off in an attempt to avoid gunfire. In the release video, employee Alonia Fantasia Ford appears agitated with Ramos. He is in the driver's seat. His wife is sitting in the front passenger seat, and his daughter is in the back seat. They paid $12.99 for a meal combo, but did not get the curly fries that they ordered, prompting an argument. Not even halfway into the dispute, the video shows Ford readies her weapon. Minutes later, and with another employee at the window, she throws ice and condiments before firing at least twice at the family. Quote, Jack in the Box needs to do a background check on employees so as not to expose their customers to someone who would attempt to try and take their lives. The family filed the lawsuit in 2022. Catlin recently reviewed the video after a discovery request. The lawsuit claims that Jack in the Box was negligent for not keeping customers safe. In the original answer, Jack in the Box denied all allegations and stated that the restaurant has, quote, no control over and, quote, it is not legally responsible for third parties, like Ford. Ford is also named in a lawsuit which seeks at least $250,000 in damages. He was initially charged with aggravated assault with a deadly weapon, but pled guilty to a lesser charge of deadly conduct. She got a sentence of 1 year deferred adjudication and completed in June. I just want to say again, no man on this planet can protect a woman from her own stupid decisions. This woman is working a 9 to 5, probably working paycheck to paycheck. You know, she might have family or whatnot that depends strictly on her. She might even be a manager. I'm not sure. But she decided that she wanted to get emotional instead of trying to de-escalate the situation. She wanted to get right up there in the same energy as the patron, and she decided to take it to a whole nother universe. Now you got people arguing, back and forth. She's throwing stuff, they're throwing stuff. Everything's completely equal. Now she wanted to throw up the equalizer of equalizers, and she wanted to pull out something that is meant to take a life. She did this because she is a very emotional person. She does not work on the spectrum of logic. Everything is emotions or nothing at all. And not only could she have potentially harmed herself, bullets tend to, reflect. She could have potentially harmed her coworker. She could have also potentially harmed anybody that was in that vehicle or anybody else that was in the area at that moment in time. Again, this was reckless, severe, reckless endangerment with the use of a firearm. How it is that they pretty much gave her a slap on the wrist is beyond me. I know why it is, because she's a woman, but again, it's beyond me. This is reckless endangerment. That was literally a family. Some people will sit up there and say, hey, this is why you should be very careful on how it is that you decide to go about certain things. That is all well and correct. But again, it comes with certain limitations. Again, people do have the right to defend themselves on equal footing, on equal ground. This was not equal. The moment in time that she decided to go directly in her pocket and grab that weapon, that is the moment in time that everything transitioned to a place that it did not need to go. Again, this woman could have very easily taken the lives of other people. So I ask again, how is it possible for any man out here to protect a woman from her own negative, dangerous decisions? She decided to go a step below. She decided to go into an avenue and an area where nobody else was even looking to go. Again, yes, the customer was wrong on how it is that they decided to perform and how it is that they decided to act directly in that drive-thru at that Jack in the Box. Again, they were wrong. And I've told people millions of times before, I hate the slogan that the customer is always right. No, there's a lot of times that the customer is wrong. You have a lot of people in fast food that have to work obnoxious amounts of hours. some of which sometimes people can't even get their full 40 hours in because whoever is controlling the schedule doesn't really want to schedule them properly. Or some of those same people who might be getting their 40 hours, they might get a little bit too much and not enough rest, right? So again, there's a lot of things that transpire in the fast food industry. This is why I happen to tell people like, hey, a lot of people are stressed out here. A lot of people are bothered by a multitude of things. You need to be very careful. You need to be very cautious on how it is that you decide to perform whenever it is that you're in a drive-through, whenever it is that you are speaking, whenever it is that you are face to face with these people who are making your food every single day. Because if you are not careful, these exact same people you are trusting, who you are, giving this good faith to abide by certain rules and regulations, no matter how nasty you may act as a customer, as a consumer, you're expecting them to perform their duties at the utmost, right? At the top of the tippity top, right? You're expecting them to just make your order as is and not put any, additives, any special sauces, any extra condiments, or ingredients directly in your sodas, pops, directly in your food or what have you. This is what you're expecting. And in videos that I've showcased before, this is not specifically what it is that you've gotten. Some people have gotten extra. And what I mean extra, extra. And it's taken place and it has happened to everybody. And again, this is why you shouldn't have certain people working in fast food. And this is why you shouldn't have certain people going through the drive-thrus, because that is a culmination for the worst of the worst things to literally take place. And it's not just going to be just those two people that are going to have that interaction and that are going to have that negative energy, but that energy from that engagement is going to carry over with other customers who had nothing to do with that engagement. That's how messed up, that's how jacked up all of this is. But nobody wants to pay attention to that. Nobody. And this is why I told people before, two things. Number one, you need to learn how to manage your own emotions and how it is that you decide to carry yourself out here. And number two, at the end of the day, from what this video and what the article was able to tell us, is that no matter what a woman does, she is not going to face the full-fledged responsibility of what it is that she decided to commit to. She is not going to be made 100% responsible for her own actions. There's going to be some type of excuse that is going to transpire. People are going to look at, oh, it was a woman. She was this and she was that. Let's give her, less time. Let's just say that she served her time because we don't want to ruin her. This is why you have a lot of women out here who do the things that they do. And this is why I told people before that there's going to be even more women over time that are going to commit some of the same horrendous atrocities, if not worse, that men have already been committing out here in the world since the beginning of time. But nobody wants to listen. Nobody wants to pay attention. Nobody wants to hold any of these individuals accountable. So what's going to happen is that everybody is going to have to suffer because of those to hold certain people accountable and responsible for their negative actions.